Good mental health is something that we all need. It is a feeling of well being, happiness, the ability to cope with life's many challenges, to accept others, and most of all, to have a positive attitude towards oneself. Scientific and medical research demonstrates that mental health is a foundation for good health, as physical and mental health are inseparable. Despite its increasing significance, the reality is that governments, public health practitioners, and citizens alike devote little attention and consequently fewer resources to mental health. Do you know that in Malaysia, mental illness is the second biggest contributing cause of death? 1 out of 6 Malaysians are said to face mental illness at the early age of 16. What is the cause of this? Was it stress? Was it genetic? Or was it the age? How can we overcome this problem? So, we are going to dig deeper into the reality of mental illness in Malaysia.
Creating greater awareness of mental health is the biggest leading stone in helping those who are struggling in mental disorder. The public need to understand the issue related to mental disorder so that the stigma against the mental illness can be fixed. To find out the rate of awareness against mental health in Malaysia, we decided to interview a few of the students.
Yes. Are you familiar with the terms of mental illness?
Oh yeah, I think mental illness is like something when someone like stressed or feeling depressed and anxiety, something like that.
From my point of view, mental illness is a disease where a person, he or she have changes in mood.
Mental illness, a healthy condition that involving the emotion, thinking, and behavior of someone.
Such as that person easy to stress or anything about mental.
Mental illness, is it the same like crazy?
So it's mental illness that you cannot think wisely. You will be some people like sleep everywhere, like laughing always like that in terms of mental illness.
As a student, sometimes I can feel the negative thing like will lead me to have a depression when I cannot give a total 100% attention to my work, to my passion. Like
My neighbor, he once had mental illness where he cannot think properly, where he always get mad.
Despite having the basic knowledge of mental illness, it is sad to say that a lot of them are still not fully aware about mental health, mental illness, and the danger it carries. We reached out to a depression survivor to hear her story. This is Lynn, currently 24 years old. She suffered from depression when she was 16 and was in whole of the deadly wrath of depression for almost 4 years. I just moved into a new school when I was 16, so I have no friends, and the kids at my new school were not in liking terms with me. They refused to befriend me and would ignore me in the worst way possible, treating me like I don't exist. I was lonely and left with not even a single friend throughout the rest of my high school year. I was still not sure on why they did that, but I assumed it was because I came from a rather poor family. I started to have suicidal thoughts in the middle of the year, thinking that I would be better off not living and not hurting like when I am alive. But I managed to keep the thoughts away for the sake of my mother, who is a single mother and held really high hopes for me. But the treatment got worse. They moved on from ignoring me to mocking and bullying me every single day. I got so upset, but I wasn't able to do anything, so I started to cut myself instead. The cutting resumed for about a year. I cut myself regularly, and finally, the counselor of the school noticed, and thankfully, she reached out to me and was offering herself to help me. It was a painful and a very slow process, but I managed to finally stop cutting myself, and now I am also finally free from the suicidal thoughts. It was still traumatizing, but yeah, it's way better. The suffering caused by mental illness and mental disorders is enormous. Patients with mental illness suffer a great deal and are unable to function normally. On top of that, they face discrimination and rejection from the community, and this has a detrimental effect on their recovery. It is important to include the community and environment we live in. We can't address mental health problems without meaningful participation by the people. Mental health is a community, national, and global matter which everyone has to take a part in overcoming it.